Tonight, you're not just falling asleep, you're slipping back in time, back to ancient Greece, where olive oil was everywhere and comfort nowhere in sight. You are rich, draped in silk, surrounded by columns and servants, but nothing feels quite right. The air is hot. Your hair is pinned so tight it hurts. The jewelry sparkles, but it itches. And privacy, that's a myth. This is wealth without the modern perks. No fans, no toilets, no chill. So, ready to live a day in luxury? Ancient style? Let's begin your journey, a gentle tour through a day in the life of a rich, uncomfortable, surprisingly relatable Greek woman. You're a rich woman in ancient Greece. You should be comfortable, right? Wrong. It's still dark outside, but you're already awake. Your bedroom is hot and stuffy. No air conditioning, no fans, just wooden shutters and thick, stale air. You have the most expensive silk sheets money can buy, but silk traps heat. You are sweating and sticky, wrapped in luxury that feels like a prison. Your neck hurts. Why? Because you slept wearing all your jewelry, gold necklaces, silver bracelets. You can't take them off at night because your mother-in-law might visit early in the morning. If she sees you looking anything less than perfect, you will never hear the end of it. Being rich means your appearance matters more than your comfort. Even when you sleep, you peel yourself off the damp sheets. Your hair is a mess. You feel awful. This is what wealth looks like for women in ancient Greece. A servant brings you water in a clay bowl. The water is warm. There's no soap, no privacy, just a rough cloth and hope that you can clean yourself before anyone important sees you. The bowl barely has any water in it. You splash some on your face, but it doesn't help much. Then someone knocks on your door. Time to get dressed. Time to start performing. Time to be the perfect rich woman everyone expects you to be. In your world, reputation never sleeps, and neither do you. This is just the start of your very long day. You want to stay in that sticky bed just a little longer. But that's not allowed. Proper women rise early, and they dress the right way. You don't get to choose what to wear today. Tradition has already decided. A linen tunic all the way down to your ankles, a heavy cloak draped across your shoulders, and jewelry, so much jewelry. It jingles when you walk and digs into your skin when you sit. Your sandals, flat, stiff, made of leather that never cared about your comfort. But they look expensive, and that's what matters, right? A maid helps dress you. She wraps the fabric tight around your body, pressing it against your chest and stomach. The outfit looks beautiful, but you can barely breathe. You try to say something, but the maid gently reminds you, wealthy women speak softly and not very often. You glance at the simple cotton clothes nearby, loose, cool, comfortable, perfect for a day like this. But those are for the slaves, or for men, not for you. You are rich. You have money, status, respect. But every layer they wrap around you, every shimmering piece they clip to your ears or wrists, is a reminder your body doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the house, to your family, to their expectations. The sun is climbing higher, and you're already wrapped like a gift no one's allowed to open. This is what wealth looks like when you're a woman in ancient Greece. Beautiful on the outside, suffocating on the inside. Time for breakfast, if you can even call it that. The house is still quiet, but your body is already tired. A servant enters, on a tray, stale bread, a few black olives, 3 wrinkled figs, no warm pastries, no fresh milk, no sweet perfume of roasted beans or buttered toast. There is no coffee, no tea, nothing warm to greet your stomach, just food that survived the night. You sit down to eat in silence, because that's what's expected. Talking too much, unladylike. Laughing too loud, shameful. Enjoying your food too much, greedy and improper. So you nibble at the hard crust of bread and pretend it doesn't scrape the roof of your mouth. You chew an olive, so salty your lips purse without permission, and the figs, slightly sour, like they aged just a bit too long under the sun. You do not ask where the food came from. You do not want to know. The kitchen smells like fire and smoke, meat left too long on stone slabs, fish that still whispers secrets from yesterday's market stall. Your stomach starts to ache, not from fullness, but from quiet panic. Still you eat, because skipping a meal, that's more shameful than finishing it. Then nature calls, and this is where wealth disappears completely. There is no marble bathroom, no golden faucet, no room with perfume and powder and locks on the door. Just a bench, a cold stone bench with holes cut into it. Side by side, no partitions, no privacy, only other women sitting beside you, all pretending nothing is happening. You avoid their eyes, they avoid yours, because shame is the only thing shared more generously than the food. When you're done, you don't reach for tissue. That luxury doesn't exist. Instead, you see it, the sponge, on a stick, soaked in vinegar. You finally step outside after a long, stifling morning. The sun greets your face like a friend you barely remember, warmth on your cheeks, a breeze that smells of bread, dust, and freedom. For one fleeting second you feel alive, free, unwatched. But the world reminds you quickly, freedom isn't yours to have. You cannot walk alone, not ever. A wealthy woman in ancient Greece must never appear unaccompanied, not even to fetch water, not even to admire the sky. So you wait for your chaperone, a servant, a family member, someone, anyone, to walk beside you so the neighbors don't start talking. Because when neighbors talk, reputations die. And yours? It's as fragile as a clay pot. One crack, and it all falls apart. You keep your head down, but your eyes wander. The street is alive, vendors shouting, children running, men arguing about politics and grain. You want to stop, to smile, to laugh at the way a goat is chasing a man down the hill. But you don't. You can't. You don't speak to strangers. You don't point at curiosities. You don't giggle at the absurd. Because laughter, that's dangerous. Even a moment's pause in front of the wrong stall, a jeweler, a potter, a man selling combs, and suddenly the whispers begin. Why is she looking there? Does she know him? Is she interested? The other women see you. Behind their veils, their eyes scan your every move. They aren't greeting you, they're collecting evidence, little moments to turn into stories at dinner, fuel for gossip, ammunition for status games. And the men, they pretend not to see you, but they do. Their silence weighs more than any word. Every glance you receive or don't is a judgment. Are you modest enough, polite enough, submissive enough? Even your silence is judged. Too quiet, you're dull. Too warm, You're shameless. No balance exists. You didn't choose your husband. That decision was made for you. Not out of love, not out of kindness, but out of duty, out of strategy, out of convenience. Your father, or perhaps your uncle, shook hands with another man one day, and just like that, your future was sealed. He has land, they said. He has influence. He's a good match. No one asked what you wanted. No one ever does. He is older, much older. You were still growing when he was already a man. Now you're his wife, not his partner, his possession. He's rarely home during the day, and when he is, his words are sharp and brief. He speaks, you listen, you nod, you agree. Because good wives agree. You run the household, not freely, not truly. You supervise the servants. You care for the children. You make sure the meals are on time. The fabric is mended. The floors are swept. You are the heart of the house, but not its master. You have responsibility without authority, presence without power. It is like managing a garden without ever tasting the fruit. He makes the rules. He signs the contracts. He controls the coins, the cattle, the comings and goings. You keep everything quiet and smooth, invisible, because that's what you're taught. That's what keeps the peace. Sometimes you hear laughter outside. Men laughing too loud for this hour, and you know it's him, your husband. Entertaining friends, maybe entertaining lovers. You're not supposed to ask. You're not supposed to care. Everyone knows wealthy men have lovers. It's tradition. It's expected. It's normal. The sun is high now, and your home feels like a clay oven. Every surface radiates heat. The air is thick, heavy, as if it's pressing down on your skin. There's no breeze, no escape. You want to lie down just for a moment, but rest is not allowed, not for you, not when the house must stay flawless for visitors who may never arrive. You have servants, but every task they do must still pass through your eyes. You don't sweep the floors, but you inspect the sweep marks. You don't draw the bath, but the temperature must be just right. You must instruct, but gently. Too stern and you're cruel. Too soft and you're foolish. They say grace is power, but it feels more like walking a tightrope, barefoot, in silence. Your children, if you have them, are with you too, not playing, not laughing. They must sit properly, speak softly, and reflect your dignity. Because in this world, a child's behavior is not their own. It is a mirror of yours. Even your silence is measured. Even your patience is a performance. You adjust your tunic, not because it's out of place, but because you need something, anything, to feel under your control. And as you correct a servant's stitching or refold linens no one will see, you wonder if this is honor or a prison made of silk and expectation. You are praised as the jewel of the house, but even jewels are locked away. This is your afternoon, quiet, unseen, suffocating beneath the weight of doing everything just right. This is what it means to be a rich woman in ancient Greece. There's a knock at the door. Not loud, but deliberate. You already know who it is. Your husband's mother, the matriarch, the watcher, the one who sees everything and forgets nothing. You take a deep breath, straighten your tunic, check your hair, your jewelry, your posture. Again. She enters without waiting. Of course she does. This is her son's house, which means it's still her house. She looks you up and down, not with warmth, but with calculation. Her eyes scan for imperfections, a wrinkle, a frayed hem, a sign that you're slipping. You offer a soft greeting, your voice steady, your words practiced, nothing too bold, nothing too plain. She sits, she doesn't ask, she comments on the flowers, the food, the servants, the way you raise the children, the way you greet guests. Every word is a test. And you smile, you nod, you agree, even when you don't, because a disagreement Even a gentle one would echo through the household like a thunderclap, and thunder in this home always ends with you getting soaked. She mentions a cousin, one who knows her place. She praises her, but stares at you. The message is clear: be silent, be soft, be invisible, unless you're impressing someone. When she finally leaves, you exhale, but not too loudly. There could still be ears in the hall. You retreat into your room, not to rest, just to be alone, for a minute. You adjust your earrings, tighten your belt, look at your reflection, and ask it quietly, how much of me is left beneath all of this perfection? This is what wealth buys you, not freedom, not peace, just visitors who inspect your life, like they're still deciding if you belong here. The house is quiet now, but not silent. It's never truly silent. Somewhere a servant is sweeping, someone is whispering in the kitchen. Footsteps echo faintly down the marble corridor. You try to read, you try to think, but your mind keeps wandering. Because in this home, thoughts aren't always private. There are always eyes, always ears, always someone listening, and they don't need permission to repeat what they hear. Even laughter is risky. What if they think you're laughing at someone, or, worse, at something improper? What if that laughter makes its way to your husband's ears, or his mother's? You remember a woman who lived 2 houses down. She made one careless comment, just one. Now she doesn't come to parties anymore. Her name is spoken only in hushed tones. You don't want that, so you guard your thoughts like treasure. Smile when expected, stay quiet when uncertain. Speak in riddles if you must speak at all. It's like living inside a play where everyone is acting, but no one knows who's writing the script. You long for solitude, to let your shoulders drop, to say what you truly feel. But even behind closed doors, you wonder who's listening. The walls, they remember everything. This is the cost of being watched, of being envied, of being the perfect rich woman in ancient Greece. Not even your thoughts feel like your own anymore, and that is the loneliest feeling of all. The door creaks open, and in steps your mother-in-law, unannounced. Again. She doesn't knock. She never does. Because this isn't just your house. It's her son's house. And that means, in her mind, she outranks you. She walks slowly, eyes sharp, lips thin, jewelry clinking with each step. She scans the room, your posture, your clothes, the table settings, looking, always looking for something wrong. You greet her with a smile, a quiet bow of the head, respectful, careful, practiced. She doesn't smile back. Instead, she comments on the flowers, too wilted, the servants, too slow, your tunic, wrinkled near the hem. She notices everything, even things no one else would care to see. You pour her wine. She doesn't thank you. She never does. She asks about her grandchildren. Not kindly. More like an inspection. Are they speaking Greek properly? Are they learning their verses? Are they behaving like her son's legacy? You want to scream or laugh or cry, but all you do is nod and serve more wine, because that's your role. To please, to obey, to endure. She speaks of your husband, how busy he is, how lucky you are, how proud she is of him, and how you should be too. As if pride replaces presence, as if status soothes loneliness. You count the seconds. You smile. You agree. Because arguing won't change a thing. Eventually she stands, straightens her robes and leaves as she came. Without saying goodbye, the room is quiet again, but the tension remains. Clinging to the curtains, settling on your skin. This is your life, not just watched by society, but judged from inside your own walls. Even kindness is conditional. Even family feels like performance. You take a deep breath. You survived. The sun finally disappears behind the hills, and for a moment you exhale. The day is done. At least it should be. But in a wealthy Greek household, even the night belongs to expectations. You sit quietly in the women's quarters. No fire crackling, just flickers of oil lamps casting shadows across the walls. Your back aches. Your legs are tired. But your mind still racing. Did you say the right things today? Did you smile enough? Did you smile too much? Did your mother-in-law leave satisfied or quietly insulted? You can't be sure. No one tells you these things. They just act colder or whisper more. You hear footsteps, not rushed, not urgent, but coming toward your room. It's your husband. You stand. You adjust your tunic. You smooth your hair, even though it's already pinned and painful. Because looking tired is never acceptable. He enters, nods, sits, says very little. You pour wine. You listen. He talks about the city, the market, the men. Not once does he ask about your day, and that's normal, expected. Eventually, he nods again and stands. He may leave or stay, but either way, you are dismissed. You undress in silence. Remove your jewelry finally. Each piece leaves a faint red mark where it sat too tightly for too long. You touch the spot on your neck and feel heat still trapped from the day. You lie back in bed, same silk sheets, same warm room, same tired silence. You stare at the wooden beams above you, and for a moment, you wonder what it might feel like to be alone. Truly alone, free of expectations, of watchers, of traditions. But freedom was never part of your inheritance. Only wealth, only silence, only duty. The lamps dim, night has fallen. The air is cooler now, but not cool. You're lying in bed again, silk clinging to your skin, not from warmth, but from everything left unsaid. This is the moment most people think of rest, of peace, of dreams. But for you, the night is when the noise gets louder. Not outside, inside. You turn to your side, but your jewelry still presses into you. The pillow is too thin. The mattress is just a wooden frame and a woven pad. Luxury by ancient standards, but it still feels like sleeping on expectation. You try to let your mind wander, to imagine a different life. Not richer, just freer. Maybe in this other life, you get to laugh without shame, run without permission, speak without being weighed. You picture it now, a field of olive trees, your hair unbound, no cloak, no eyes watching, just the sound of your own heartbeat, finally yours. But the fantasy doesn't last. Reality pulls you back. You remember tomorrow's schedule, the guests, the rituals, the clothes that suffocate, the smiles that ache, the silence that protects and punishes. Even your dreams aren't really yours. They're shaped by rules you didn't make, fenced in by voices that are never quiet. Not even here, not even now. So you lie still, eyes closed, breathing shallow, trying to believe this life means something more than just looking perfect. Trying to believe that your quiet endurance is not invisibility, but strength. Trying to believe you are more than what they see. And maybe one day someone will tell your story, not just about your wealth, but your weight, the weight you carried quietly, gracefully, relentlessly. Until then, you will close your eyes and drift back into the only place that still belongs to you. Sleep. The rooster hasn't even crowed yet, but your eyes are open again. Because peace is a foreign word here, and rest is something you perform, not something you feel. You stare at the ceiling, just wooden beams above your bed, thinking about the exact same day you're about to live again. Wake early, smile early, dress in silence, eat in silence, obey in silence. Even your thoughts feel like they're not really yours. You're rich, yes. You sleep on silk. You drink from silver. You're waited on, dressed, praised for beauty you didn't ask for, but deep down, you're tired. Tired in a way that no nap can fix. Because no one told you that being privileged could still mean being powerless. You've mastered the art of smiling while breaking, of walking gracefully with chains no one sees, of pretending that this gilded life is everything you ever wanted. But tonight, as the shadows return, you wonder just for a second, what if tomorrow you woke up as someone else? What if you didn't open your eyes at all? No, no. You push that thought away. You are not allowed to think such things. Not here. Not ever. So you do what you always do. You inhale the still air, brush the hair from your face, and prepare. Tomorrow you will perform again, because that is the role you were born into, and no one ever rewrites the script for women like you. But maybe, just maybe, tonight's dream will be a little longer, and in that dream, you'll finally be free. It's temple day. You don't get to say no. Even your prayers aren't yours to choose. Your maid begins preparing your ceremonial gown. It's whiter than anything you wear on normal days, bleached linen, heavy and stiff, decorated with woven symbols you don't understand but must pretend you do. The gods are watching, they say, and so is everyone else. You are escorted, never alone, 2 servants ahead, another behind. The street is quiet. Eyes peek through shutters. Whispers float like dust in the heat. A woman going to pray means something, always. At the temple steps you pause, not out of reverence, but because these marble stairs are slippery in your sandals and no one dares offer you a hand. You climb slowly, gracefully, carefully. You mustn't fall. Falling would be shameful. Falling would be remembered. The gods may forgive clumsiness, but your in-laws never. Inside, it's cool. Dim candlelight flickers on tall statues, their faces perfect, emotionless, immortal. You kneel. You bow your head. You whisper rehearsed words, asking for nothing you truly want. Because rich women don't beg for freedom. They beg for favor, for fertility, for a smooth delivery, for their husbands' continued success, for their sons to grow strong and their daughters to stay silent. You feel nothing, no divine warmth, no heavenly voice, just aching knees and the judgment of eyes that pretend not to watch. The offering bowl is filled with oil and dried flowers. You place your token in, a coin, not for luck, for expectation. The ritual is complete, your duty done, and yet you feel even emptier than when you came in. You step back out into the heat. No fanfare, no divine sign, just the same stifling sun and a life you didn't choose. This is devotion, wrapped in silk, chained in gold, suffocating beneath the weight of belief. The house smells like roses today. Not fresh ones, but dried petals scattered on the floor to make it look welcoming. Someone important is coming. Another woman, a wife, a mother, a matron of another household. Your husband invited her. You were simply informed. The women will sit. They will smile. They will pretend. Your maid fixes your hair again, even though it already aches. Your gown is adjusted, even though you haven't moved. You are reminded to speak little, laugh even less, and never, ever talk about politics, childbirth, or your true thoughts. The guest arrives. Her sandals echo in the courtyard. Her jewelry is louder than her voice. She smells like jasmine and cold judgment. You greet her, a soft kiss on each cheek, a rehearsed compliment, a fake smile that stretches too far. This is diplomacy, not between nations, between wives. You offer her honey cakes. She takes only one. You pour wine. She barely sips. You talk about the weather, the color of wool, the price of figs, but never about your lives. Not really. There is an entire universe behind her eyes. You see it, you recognize it, and you know she sees yours too. But neither of you will say a word. This is not a friendship. This is performance. Two queens on separate islands, surrounded by servants and expectations, playing a game neither one enjoys, but both must win. The visit ends. More kisses, more smiles, more aching cheeks. When she leaves, you finally exhale, but not too loudly. Someone might hear. You don't remember what you said, only how hard you worked to say the right things, and how tired you are from pretending to enjoy your own house. This is society. Gracious, elegant, exhausting. The sun has dipped below the horizon, but your duties haven't. Dinner in a wealthy Greek household isn't a peaceful family meal. It's an event, a performance, and you're expected to play your part perfectly. You sit upright on a low couch, one leg tucked beneath the other, not too relaxed, not too stiff. Your husband speaks. You listen. He laughs with his friends. You smile. You pass the wine, but never drink too much. A lady must always appear in control. There's food, yes. Roasted meats, bitter herbs, thick sauces, dried fruit. But none of it is truly for you. You're not here to feast. You're here to be seen, admired, silent and poised. A statue that breathes, but not too loudly. The room grows louder. The men argue about politics, philosophy, theater. You know the answers, but your voice stays behind your teeth. A woman with opinions? That would be dangerous. You nod at the right moments. You laugh gently, never too sharp. You refill goblets and nibble bread. Your stomach tightens from the rich food, but still you sit tall. Still you smile. The walls echo with voices, but none of them are yours. As the candles burn lower, your head begins to ache. The earrings are too heavy. The dress has left red lines on your skin, and the perfume clings to you like sweat. But the night isn't over. Not until your husband says it is. This is evening in the life of a wealthy woman in ancient Greece. A life of display, of beauty without comfort, of presence without power, of being admired but never truly known. And as the night has stretched long, too long, and finally you return to your chamber. The candles flicker low, the servants have vanished into the shadows, and you're alone. You take off the heavy earrings, the necklace, the cloak. Each piece leaves behind a faint red mark, as if wealth branded your skin. Your feet ache, your back is stiff, your body breathes relief, but your mind, still racing, still performing, still pretending. You lie down on the silk sheets, hot, sticky. You want cotton, or linen, or nothing at all. But silk is what a rich woman sleeps in, even if it suffocates. Outside, the city murmurs, crickets, distant laughter, a donkey braying, and the soft hush of the Aegean breeze. You stare at the ceiling, your thoughts drift to another life, one where you're not being watched, not being measured, not being used as a symbol for someone else's pride. In that life, you laugh when you want. You eat when you're hungry. You speak your mind and sleep in peace. But here, in this life, you close your eyes and rehearse the next performance. Because tomorrow, you'll rise again. You'll dress again. You'll smile and endure again. This is how a rich woman sleeps in ancient Greece, not in comfort, not in freedom, but in a quiet war between duty and desire. You have everything, and yet so little of it is yours. Good night.